Hello, everyone. It's Desi, and I'm back today with some more picture books celebrating Black history. Yes. So, the picture books today have to deal with issues that were occurring in the civil rights movement and some that still affect us today. So, the first picture book I would like to share with you is Your Voice, Your Vote is written by Leah Henderson and illustrated by Keisha Morris. So as you can see, there's a lovely family on the front and they have their I voted stickers. But on the way to go to vote, the little girl learns about all of the inequities that happened in the past. How people like her grandmother and her grandmother's parents had to take tests that were not fair, that made it more likely that they wouldn't be able to vote. So that's things like having to answer the question, how many bubbles does a cake of soap generate? How many jelly beans are in this jar? And if you didn't answer it correctly, you didn't get to vote that day. The other topic that this book covers beautifully is the way those practices are still in place today. So the little girl has to wait in a really long line. There's talk about IDs needed for voting. It's just a really good conversation starter about voting and the importance of doing it. Again, the title is Your Voice, Your Vote. It's written by Leah Henderson, illustrated by Keisha Morris. The next picture book that I have for you is Justice Rising: 12 Amazing Black Women in the Civil Rights Movement. It's written by Catherine Russell Brown and illustrated by Kim Holt. So you can see there's Fannie Lou Hamer, and then we have Coretta Scott King, but we have some other notable Black women in this book. So it's really a nice primer to the civil rights movement. And there we have Rosa Parks. But we have first up Ella Baker, who was huge in the civil rights movement. What I love about this book is that it breaks down the topic of civil rights in a way that younger kids can understand. And the illustrations are beautiful. Again, the title is Justice Rising: 12 Amazing Black Women in the Civil Rights Movement. It's written by Catherine Russell Brown and illustrated by Kim Holt. The next picture book that I have for you is Coretta, the autobiography of Miss Coretta Scott King. Now, it was written by Coretta Scott King and illustrated by Akua Holmes. So this is the young adult or the child's version of Coretta Scott King's autobiography. What I love about this book, other than look at the mixed media, there's Dr. King, there's some music notes, because she was a musician. She had a whole life before she met Dr. King. And here she is at school, again, one of the only Black women in school, in college at that time. So she had a path towards, and here she meets Dr. King, advocacy before she met Dr. King. So this is all about her life and why civil rights was important to her before Dr. King and remained important afterwards. Again, the title of the book is Coretta, the autobiography of Miss Coretta Scott King, and it is illustrated by Akua Holmes. The last book today I have for you is Fighting with Love: The Legacy of John Lewis. So John Lewis was a U.S. congressman, but before that, he was also involved with the Student Nonviolent Coalition, or SNCC. So they were part of the Freedom Riders. So the Freedom Riders would ride buses to protest the inequity of segregation. So that's the bus boycott. but they had to be trained in the practices of nonviolence. So he worked with Dr. King, and he was arrested over 45 times just fighting for our inalienable rights that should have been a guarantee to us. Again, the title of the book is Fighting with Love, The Legacy of John Lewis. It is written by Lisa Klein Ransom and illustrated by James E. Ransom. Well, I hope you're well. I hope you're safe. I hope you're doing something good for yourself and for others. I hope that you're reading about Black people and celebrating Black History Month because it matters. Thank you so much for listening.